Back to our breaking news in Midtown, where GBI has been called in to investigate an officer-involved shooting. It all happened just outside the 11 Alive building this morning. We all had to be escorted by police to get to work today. Chris Hopper's at the scene right now, just down the block from our studio. Chris, what's the latest there?
Vinny, we're actually getting a closer look at the scene, the investigation that's taking place here this morning. If you take a look here behind me, you'll see that's the vehicle the suspect was driving when he was shot and killed by that police officer this morning. That is the car that GBI is going through. They've been going through for several hours now. This happened just after midnight. Monroe Drive here is still shut down. If you live in the apartment complex here, inside of this perimeter that's taped off, you can get out, but nobody can come in. Now let's take a look at some video from that investigation overnight. We're told around midnight, an off-duty Atlanta police officer spotted a guy in the parking deck here at Monroe Place Apartments. That officer thought the guy was breaking into a car, so he approached him, and that's when the suspect took off. Police say that officer radioed for assistance. At some point, the suspect got into that car we just showed you. That's when an on-duty officer fired his gun. He hit the suspect. That suspect was taken to Grady Hospital, where he later died. We're told he was 22 years old. Now, we know GBI is in full control of this investigation now. Atlanta police did give us an interview earlier this morning. They were asked, why did that officer fire the gun? That question still has not been answered this morning. Of course, these investigations, especially when officers are involved, take quite a long time to figure out. We're hoping to learn more details today, Vinny.
All right, Chris, so the car is now across the street in the parking lot of that nightclub. Do we know if that's where the shooting took place, or that's where the car ended up, or did it happen on the other side of the street closer to where we are at 11 Alive?
If JoJo can pan over this way a little bit, you'll see this is Monroe Place that leads up to our property in that apartment complex. We believe the shooting actually happened on Monroe Place. It looks like the car continued to drive over that curb into the parking lot of the bar, and then the car slammed into another vehicle that was parked in that parking lot. Wednesday night's typically a pretty busy night at this bar anyway, so there were a number of people and cars in the parking lot when this all happened, Vinny.
All right, and now it looks like they've cleared everything up, so there should be no traffic issues for folks traveling through the area? No, there still is a traffic issue here, Vinny, because Monroe Drive is shut down. If you look over here, I don't know if JoJo can pan over that way. He's got some lights right there. But if you look over here, they still have Monroe Drive shut down. If you live in the apartment complex or you're on our property and you want to leave, that's okay, but you cannot come back in. Currently, they're not letting anybody into this area here as the investigation continues this morning. All right, Chris Hopper on the scene just outside the 11 Alive studios. Thanks so much, Chris.